questions, and a reminder, no live streaming.
Practice been good. Guys been fired up. Been some good competition out there and good energy for this time of year. Obvious reasons they got something to play for and they're fired up. So that all opened up.
Much, if any difference does it make when you've got a team who's played in big games before, has seen big moments going against one that could take away the building? That's the biggest game for them since 1951.
I don't know. I think big game experience is valuable, but I also think that they've played in big games. I mean, they've had a good team now, 2 or 3 years. They've been in the hunt. I felt like the game we played up there 2 years ago was a really big game for them. They had a great atmosphere and a really good crowd. So they've got a lot of experience. So every game is relative to what you think of it. So every time they play an SEC opponent, we play an SEC opponent, it's a big game. And they've got seniors who've played a lot more games than some of our younger players.
Coach, how do you maintain the edge when you have such a, I guess, emotional win like you do in a rivalry game? I know that the ideal is to keep everything the same, but the reality of it is that was a big stage your team played on in the last couple of years when you followed that cocktail party. But
It's a big stage every week. I mean, this TV, I mean, I don't look at it that way. I mean, look at Kentucky, the emotion that went into their game and the way they won the game. I mean, that's for you guys to talk about and the fans, but we're next man up. We're going through the same process we go through every week. I mean, when you change the process, it makes them think that some games aren't as important as others, and they're all just as important.
Tyreek McGee's not the biggest guy in the world, but that star position has to be pretty physical by nature, and he seems to hold up to it pretty well. You got some bigger options at that. What's he able to do at that star position specifically that makes him good for it, and he's been able to keep off, bigger guys?
He's physical. He strikes, he tackles, he plays bigger than he is. He's not afraid of contact. He's tough. I mean, he's a kid that I know the culture he's from, the Peach County. They grow up tough down there, and I've always said I've seen some of the most physical practices I've ever seen in my time recruiting at Peach County, and that's where he's from. So he may not weigh much, but he'll hit you, he'll strike you. He loves football, and he understands our defense, which helps him. And a big part of it is kind of knowing where his help is and using that.
Kirby, I think one of probably the more consistent messages since you've been the coach here has been the practice thing. Guys practice well, play well. But there are probably some exceptions that prove and to that rule. I mean, how much do you factor in the whole, hey, we know this guy's a gamer? You've kind of mentioned that about Monty a little bit, about when the lights come on, he's at his best. Is that a thing? Do you have to take that into account at all?
I don't think it counts as a coach. I mean, if you show me what you do in practice, I'll see you do it in the game. You have some kids play better in games and they practice occasionally, but that's not the norm. And Monty has played well in some games, but I really think Monty's just getting back to full stride because the knee injury really hurt him and set him back. And I'll be honest, he played through that. He didn't complain. He didn't try to get out, and we played him, and he was willing to play, but he wasn't the same Monty with that knee dinged up. But he's been better the last 2 weeks, and he practices really hard.
would you say the same about Swift with that week off you gave him? I know you said it was an ankle, but he also had the groin. Did that do wonders for him as well?
I don't know. His injury was more when he came back from LSU. He had a foot contusion that he didn't realize through the just the endorphins from the game. It didn't hit him till the next day that his foot was bothering him. So he practiced during the off week some. He just didn't practice a whole bunch. I think he's in better condition than he was before. But he continues to get better. He continues to work and grow as a player.
Kirby, you've mentioned the experience that Kentucky has. Their roster doesn't have maybe as many 4 or 5-star type guys as some other programs in the conference. What does that say about the development of their players? And I guess you all maybe recruited Lonnie Johnson. I don't know how often you guys go up against them in recruiting.
Yeah, you go up against them more and more. I think what Mark's done is made a great headway into Ohio in the north. I mean, you think about the players on their roster from that state. It's amazing the guys they've gotten from that area where he has really good ties. And that's, I'm assuming it's one of the closest places to the SEC. I don't know that for sure, but it's probably one of the closest places to the SEC. And he gets them to come in there and play. And, the stars don't matter. I don't don't think that's always accurate. I think the development of players, the commitment to the university, the selling out for the program and the team is what's important. The best teams I've been around care about the team, and that's what he's got going right now.
Noticing Notori working with a white jersey on out there at defensive tackle. And also noticed Mikael Carter. Hadn't seen him. I just wanted to kind of see what the.
Mikael's been dinged up. Hopeful to get him back soon. Notori, we've been trying over there to get some look. He giving him a chance to maybe help us because we're so short depth-wise at D-line that he's come over there and taking some reps. He's still working with O-line and D-line, but he's trying to see if he can help us.
How would you assess the play of Natrez Patrick at this point and Tate Crowder as well?
Up and down. I think Natrez is a guy that will be the first to tell you that he hasn't played sometimes as good as he has at others, but that's part of football. I mean, I'm not one to sit here and be critical. Natrez gives us everything he has at practice. He leads our team. He's very smart. He understands our defense. He's missed some tackles, but it's not that he doesn't work at it. He works every day to get better. He does extra cardio. Natrez is one of our leaders, and I think he leads by example how he practices, and he leads by telling guys when they're not giving great effort. Tay has been a pleasant surprise for us. He's gotten better. I think the development of Tay has come through a lifetime of not playing defense or linebacker, and he's finally starting to get more and more comfortable that he can strike people and get off blocks. He's got extremely long arms. He's playing better.
Looking at previous years, obviously last year down the stretch, there were younger players that emerged and were big contributors in late games. Obviously, you have guys like Jordan Davis and Tyson Campbell that are younger. Are there any other players along those lines that are kind of in between playing and playing a little bit that you're looking to kind of flip the switch a little bit?
I can't think of that offhand. Otis is really close. I mean, he's had some good practices and some good moments, and really just haven't been able to find a way to get him into the game and the flow of the game. But he's getting better. I mean, a lot of those freshmen. Kieris has done a really good job on special teams and continues to get better. I mean, a lot of those guys are getting better. I mean, a lot of them are playing, but maybe not major roles.
How's Ben Cleveland coming along? Do you think he'll be able to help you this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know yet. He's been sore because he hasn't done the weight bearing, the running, the hitting, the pads. So what's happening is he's out there, he's able to practice, but he gets sore, and then the next day it's like starting over again. So we think he's going to be able to help us, but I don't know that he'll be out there starting. He may end up being something wrong.
Missouri had some success against Kentucky last week, and Ben Garza beat us nail, slowing him down a little bit. Of course, they've got a very good run defense. As far as the linebackers go, was it a matter of them able to stay in their gaps to make them successful in that game, or just what
They're
did you see?
physical. Missouri's, I mean, you saw it against us. Missouri's got a physical defense. I said that before we played them. Said that after we played them. Mariota does a tremendous job. And they got some big dudes. They got 2 or 3 300-plus guys that were tough to move in there. And they did a really good job playing them and controlling the running.
Did you sense team coming together a little bit? It seemed like after the Florida game there was some joy, some fun after the game that maybe there wasn't.
Well, there wasn't a lot of fun after LSU. That's what you're asking. I mean,
Even some of the
there's
wins,
been-
it wasn't like last year.
It was good. It was great. I mean, we had some really good moments in our locker room. We had some guys that played really good in those games. So I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed the process of this team growing and getting better. Was the Florida locker room good? Yeah. Was a lot LSU locker room good? No. But all those in between have somewhere probably been in the middle of those two somewhere. But the Florida locker room was good because it was a big win. But we give our guys 24 hours to get used to it and move on, and the next one's just bigger.
DeAndre's made a lot of plays for you guys. Leads the team in sacks, tackles for loss, all that stuff. I mean, is it a situation where you guys are trying to find maybe somebody to help him out there a little bit, or do you feel good about where you're at, kind of at outside linebacker in terms of depth and guys who can play?
No, you can't play every snap. I mean, that's a position that requires so much effort and strain that most outside backers don't play every snap. But you want your best one out there in critical snaps. And Brenton has done a great job supplying snaps. Robert Bill has done a good job supplying snaps. Keon. So those guys continue to supply us with ability to rest DeAndre so that he keeps himself fresh. But every play that we can have him out there, we want to have him out there.
Kirby, I know it won't matter for like 5 weeks or whatever, but are you curious to see where the selection committee puts Georgia tonight?
I didn't even know tonight. I didn't know what was going on, but I should talk to our team about that. I didn't bring it up to them, so who knows what they'll be thinking tonight. But I didn't realize that was, I'm not curious at all, because we all know the end is what matters, and you get caught in that, you'll fall pretty quick if you get caught up in it. Bottom line is, pretty much every team that's in there, if they win, they're in, because a lot of them are gonna play each other.
Last question?
What would you have told your players?
Just to be wary of the postings and the hype and all the stuff that's involved with it. It's really just a distraction. The older ones heard it all last year, so, because I know all of them will see it and pay attention to it and be on their phones looking at it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it really has no effect at all. What matters is how you play. If you want to impress those guys, go play well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.